But
until they
you
believe
make
that's
a good
going to
point in having to have had to watch the speech in its entirety, right, Lisa? Yep. To really formulate an opinion on that. You wouldn't get that, though, if you watched the mainstream media coverage of this, especially last year.
No, you wouldn't. And President Trump very clearly laid out two different futures that we could have in this world. One that is very bright and promising, or the other if we allow rogue nations like North Korea to continue unchecked. And so I think that was the point he was making there. And I think a lot of Americans and a lot of people around the world are seeing what North Korea is doing and saying, well, that looks pretty dark, that they're threatening Guam. And additionally, regarding the media, look, the media has already demonstrated their bias. That's just statistically proven. We had that survey out not too long ago of the summer coverage of President Trump, media research finding that 91% of the coverage. We even have people like John Dickerson of Face the Nation saying that the media has ruined its own reputation on its own. And I think when you watch some of that coverage and the hyperbole that we see from the media, they actually discredit themselves and hurt themselves. Because if everything's at an 11, what is actually an 11? So I think they ruined their own credibility with viewers.
What also wasn't covered, he praised the African Union. He talked about PEPFAR and malaria relief. He talked about Women's Entrepreneurs Fund. So he talked about a number of multilateral institutions and funds.
His actions, though, you're right. He gives lip service sometimes to multilateral actions, but then he does things like pull out of the Paris climate agreement that every other country except for 2 on the planet were a part of. He threatens to pull out of the but he threatens to pull out of the Iran.
But I think a lot of these institutions need to be held accountable.
No,
he also
all I'm
holds
saying
NATO
is there are I'm just saying the speech yesterday was not about multilateralism. It was about sovereignty, and I don't think that's a biased statement.
Yeah. What's wrong with sovereignty? And is there anything that President Trump can do?
Lisa,
that would make you has President Trump said anything that you approve of?
I'm on the show all the time,
has President Trump said or done anything that you approve of?
Not yesterday, he didn't. And
but period, has he said? Have you paid one compliment,
Lisa,
or is there anything President Trump has done that you approve of?
Let me talk. Every problem he talked about yesterday is not something the United States can solve by themselves.
Which he has said that we will work together when we shared common interests, which he also reiterated throughout the speech.
Let me finish. And everything he said were things we need other countries to do, but his actions often end up alienating our allies. When he criticizes South Korea publicly, when he criticizes
he's meeting with over
NATO.
50 Arab